Day 1. Wow, what is this? Do I get to make more choices? Bright daylight struck my eyes. Will he overslept? At first I didn't pay attention as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Semyon. Damn, looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized that it wasn't a good old worn-out Lies. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. Okay, sorry if I pronounced the words wrongly. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear, either I'm still alive or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how could this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. And then what? Did they put me onto another bus? Obviously not. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked, tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers. Summer! But how? It was winter just a moment ago. Okay, I think he's dreaming, which would be pretty obvious in this kind of situation. My head was aching unbearably, as if it was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. Wow, his eyes. Wow, the scenery. So pretty. A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. Or it would be paradise for me. I would love to go to this place wherever it is. I think I was sleeping, but then how can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. Then a gap again. And then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her, and the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, then stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran in the direction from which the bus had probably came. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though recalling my self-harm on the bus, I immediately rejected the idea. I am neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the field and far into the distance. The exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from my home. And it's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot, but here everywhere is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from the paintings of Russian landscape artists of the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The brushes are not like what bushes would be. They are so thick that you can't see anything through them, like tree tops honestly. And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance onto the fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. That was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, that means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Bro, you're thinking too much. Roasting sinners over hot coals? That is so last century. Okay, let's stop here for a second. If he was in hell, how would he even die in the first place? He was just sleeping. He had fallen asleep in the bus. So, why would he think that he was in hell? Why would he even die in the first place? Okay, but I can understand that in situations like this, it will be bizarre and you will tend to think too much. But really, I think it's just a dream. Okay, let's get back to the story. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you should either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I should pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course, it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or the woods, and this wretched bucket of boats is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. I think he's lost in his own mind, since he was depressed and all. So this was kind of a new world created in his mind. Something like that. That's just my theory anyway. I should carefully scout the area. A brick wall and its gates crowned with a Sovyonok sign, statues of pioneers standing on either side, and a road sign nearby showing the bus route number 410. Sovyonok means outlet. Okay, I still have no idea what outlet means too, so it's not helpful to me. The trip's taking a bit too long today, I smirked. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. This place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Sovyonok. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kids' summer camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from a hallucination to a time and space shift. Okay, this is a bit too much. No, I don't think it's alien abduction. None was worse than the other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Well, I do think alien abduction is pretty scary, but hallucination can be scary too. Then it occurred to me, I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the first number from my contact list. Well, I would have thought of that when I woke up. Because I'm obsessed with my phone and I can't live without it. So the first thing I wake up, what I will do is to check my phone. But instead of signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place, though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure that it wasn't a hallucination. Beads of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint and worn-out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus. But this is a very detailed dream, if it is even a dream. You are exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself sporadically, because this wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Actually, I think this situation is quite peaceful. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There were so many things that I had no time for yet. Okay, see, this is why I think he is in a dream. Because a part of him wants him to realize that sitting around in front of his computer screen all day isn't going to help him with anything, basically. So, you see, he had sat there and thought about it for a long time in his dream, and he came to this realization that he wants to do a lot of things, and he didn't have time to do it yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea. This was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why?